Standing here at the coastal this morning in the rain, and again, I feel I have to give the shir right next to the coastal because I feel so elevated and inspired being in this holy place. So I'll make it short because it's quite cold and rainy and windy. But this morning at the coastal, there was a very interesting experience which I have to share with you, which is so powerful in our endeavor to thank Hashem when things look bad. We know a few days ago here in Yerushalayim, there was a tremendous pigua. There were 7 people killed in Yaakov, and it's terrible. It's heartbreaking. It just hurts me to think about those families that lost their dear members, and we all have to feel for them as if our brothers and sisters have been killed. And this morning, as we were going through the security, I happened to get to the coast at the same time as the bus was. I woke up late and I had to take a taxi, and it was a large amount of people. And generally, at the COSEL security, they're not always 100% careful. If the buzzer goes off, sometimes they let people through anyway. But this morning, the guy was very, very careful. He wasn't letting anyone going through unless the buzzer didn't go off, unless they didn't have one piece of metal in their pocket, which is sometimes quite challenging if you're carrying change and phones and pens and other sundry items that you might have in your pocket. But this person was very, very strict about it. And people were starting to get upset. There were a lot of people. It was taking a very long time. And I was also beginning to get a little perturbed because it kept going off. It went through 4 or 5 times. I had a lot of things in my pocket. And afterwards, I realized this person's just doing his job, right? He's protecting us. He's making sure that chas v'sholom, no tragedies happen at the coastal, Rahman al-Islam. And this is something we have to keep in mind. Sometimes we get upset when people are doing things right and the way they're meant to be. And it's only because the system has allowed for being lax and for being not 100% following the rules. But when people follow the rules and the rules are good and important, we shouldn't get upset. But just the opposite. We should be happy that we have concerned individuals who are making sure to protect us and to keep our welfare in mind to the best of their ability so that we'll be protected and safe wherever we might be. This is very, very important, right? Not to get upset when people are doing things right. When people are doing things wrong, we also shouldn't get upset because kol ma David Rahman al. But certainly, when people are doing things right, don't get upset, just the opposite. Thank them for taking the time and the being unpopular, right? A person who's going to do this is being unpopular. Thank them for taking the time to make that extra effort to do things right and not to be lax in their job because the ramifications are very great. Chas v'sholom, someone gets through here with a weapon or another item that could be deadly and could be disastrous. Right? So we should think our emotions control us very much. Right? It's very, very easy for us to get upset and very, very hard for us to be happy. The Arizal writes that all of his greatness, all of his elevation of Hashem came from his happiness and joy, especially during tefillah. The more that we can serve Hashem with simcha, the more elevated we're going to be. And the Sitra Achar, the Yetzer Hara, his greatest victory, his biggest endeavor in life is to try to make us upset. Try to let things happen to make us upset. And during these times, we have to strengthen ourselves and realize that kol ma David Rahman al-Tov Avid. I was walking yesterday, and the winds were so great, I thought I was going to be pulled up in my umbrella in the sky. And I just kept saying, kol ma David Rahman al-Tov Avid. Ma shibrach, we're in a Geshem. What a wonderful chesed Hashem does, that He brings us rain, and He brings us wind to spread the rain over all places. It's a tremendous chesed. And even though it might be difficult and cold, and it might be especially hard to give shirim at the coastal, when it's raining and standing outside, but it's all Hashem's infinite kindness. Every single thing that happens to us in life is Hashem's infinite kindness. As the pasuk says, Godel Adonenu v'Rav Koyach, Hashem's strength is great, and His wisdom is infinite. Every single thing He does with infinite wisdom, right? And the more that we try to understand and accept that Hashem's wisdom is infinite and our wisdom is finite, and we might not always understand why things happen, we should accept it, say Kol Ma'adav Rachman L'Tov of it, accept it with love, and then we'll have the greatest success and happiness. Nothing will be able to upset us ever. If we could do this, we're going to be living in Olam Haba, as it says in Lukuti Maran, Torah Gimel, right? A person who is able to accept that everything Hashem does is good, he's living in Olam Haba in this world. It doesn't matter what's happening. He could be standing outside in the rain, and his umbrella might be this umbrella, which is guaranteed not to break, might be having difficulties. It's all good. Hashem should help us and protect us, especially during these times. We should.